that the environment is conducive for. But in manufacturing company, opportunity to speak, and I hope that you will join me in my session tomorrow afternoon on disruptive leadership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Yes, we will. Disruptive leadership. Absolutely interested in that. We all are. Yes, I heard yes, yes, yes. Echoes, yes. Can we hear a loud yes? Yes. We're there. I've just been told Dr. Somdutta Singh is in the audience. Ma'am, if you're here, please do join us on the stage. In the meantime, I do call on Monique R. Kennedy. Welcome. Please speak with us and inspire us.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? All right, so I'm one of three Moniques here at WEF, and I'm the founder of Thrive House. Thrive House is a support platform for entrepreneurs in the creative industry, and we serve them through events like our Tuesdays Together and our Thriving Artists Networking Dinner. We serve almost 800 creative entrepreneurs in Jamaica. We're 2 years old, and it is definitely my baby. I'm also an experienced designer, and I founded Moken Design Studio. And I have a confession. I hate the word creative. How many people in here would consider themselves a creative person? Yeah, so not many people raise their hands. I get asked all the time, because the Thrive House is about creative entrepreneurs. People ask, am I allowed to come to your event? I'm not really creative, and that upsets me, because for a word that's supposed to mean an abundance of ideas and thoughts, is quite limiting, because a lot of persons don't believe that they're creative because they don't draw or they don't write. But it's of my opinion, whether you are making a spread.
Africa. Okay, I should say Latin America. Okay, Africa. A lot of fashion in this room from Africa. And Latin America, some here? Yes, as well. Wonderful. Other parts of the world I haven't mentioned. Okay, you are representing true globalization. And honestly, I didn't know when I grew up what globalization was at all. Actually, when I introduce myself, I always say I have 3 passions in life. Entrepreneurship, and maybe you raise your hand if you share that passion. Entrepreneurship, speaking, my husband, no one, I hope. Okay, not mine, but your husband. Okay, not in that order for me, because of course my husband comes first. But when I grew up, I did nothing about globalization. I actually grew up in one of the biggest prisons with about 70 million inmates, called Communist Eastern Germany. And at that time, we were even called like No Banana Republic. It's true, because we didn't know bananas. And they had this joke, put a banana on the wall, which side is Eastern Germany? The one that's bitten fastest. So we were No Banana Republic, and we could go just a couple of 100 kilometers into each direction. We were surrounded by walls, and I did know nothing about entrepreneurship or speaking or anything like that. Today I'm the founder of the Business Launch Portal, and we do really truly global work. We worked so far with entrepreneurs from more than 20 countries, helping them start a business and scale a business. And we also run a global professional speaking platform for people that want to speak up and really turn their speaking into a profitable business. So I'm the founder of these platforms, and at the same time, I'm also, a podcast host. When I started running podcasts 5 years ago, within 5-6 months, we already had 20,000 listeners. There was another experience of globalization and spreading your message very fast, very wide. I've also a co-author of several books, and I've been honored to be on stage with incredible leaders like the previous Foreign Minister of the US, John Kerry, or the Malaysian Prime Minister, Najib Razak, or the previous European Council leader, many entrepreneurs and so on. And I'm sharing all of that with you, not because I want to brag, but rather because I say, if a girl from Eastern Germany that never ever dreamt of in her wildest dreams of ever seeing the Eiffel Tower in Paris or the Statue of Liberty in New York or the Taj Mahal in Delhi has come so far and being here today, imagine what each one of you can do to go even further than that. And at hindsight, there's 3 messages I would like to share with you that have brought me where I am today. First of all, I realized that when we have a passion, when we care for something, when we want to make a difference, we have wisdom to share or advice to give, we need to speak up. And a good friend of mine is saying, it's not only our fun and pleasure to speak up, to go out there in the world and share, but it is our utmost obligation. This is why I created this professional speaking platform, and I love the work that's done here today because so many of us get the opportunity to speak up and share our passion, share our mission. And if you want to go onto more platforms and really turn that into a business, connect with me afterwards. Join our professional speaker platform as well later. She already has all the places filled for the next school year. And she is planning to take off 2 months this summer to take a break, which before. And she said,
A director of leadership. Yes, everything is lots of nodding.
Hi. We need to nurture so-called feminine values, care, support, collaboration, love. They all need to find their place in boardrooms and complement with focus, goal settings, execution, and competition. We are living now in the co-creation era. And in this era, leaders need to apply different approaches than in the era of power. Leaders need to be aware that they are not only responsible for material aspects of the organizations, but also for emotional dimensions and spiritual dimensions. And the first job of a leader is to provide opportunities for others to grow, to develop, to learn. And women, we are excellent in this. We know how to hold the place for people to develop, to grow, and to learn. We know how to hold the place so that the new patterns of collaboration can emerge. The more fluid structures of organizations. Many of organizations are still very hierarchical. Many companies are still betting on productivity and quality. Thinking organizations, they know that creativity is an important source for the innovations. And for thinking organizations, we need at least 30% of people who are able to participate in the process of innovations and strategic planning. But we are in the era of co-creation, and we have to prepare ourselves for conscious organizations, where we will build on wisdom, intuition, life energy of each individual. And yes, women, I ask you to step to the boards, to take the positions of power, because with this position you can change the system. You can balance the world. Because of my worries, I have prepared guidelines how to create collaborative leadership in conscious organizations. The guidelines are in my book, The Energy Inside Leadership, and on Friday I will be speaking about this. Very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonja. conscious organizations is definitely the way of the future. If we're to do this, we have to do it in an awakened, conscious manner. Beautiful. It's all about recognizing the energies that we bring as individuals. And with women taking the forefront, you know, we just do it naturally, instinctively, and beautifully. And our last speaker for the afternoon, I invite Dr. Somdutta Singh. Take your baton.
Thank you. Well, you know, it's always a tough suit to follow when you have such amazing speakers, you know, from across the world. So I may not have been able to listen to all of you, but I'm sure what an amazing, you know, what an amazing consortium of people right here talking about, you know, collaboration, talking about life values, talking about other ethos. You know, I come from a country which is not only just known for having the second largest population, but a country, you know, that has over the last 1,000 years has been invaded the most number of times. And guess why? Because we had the most amount of talent. People could steal from us, right? So it's always, you know, it's always a pat on the back when someone's saying that somebody's imitating you, because imitation is the best form of flattery. You're indeed exceptional is when you are imitable, right? So while all of those invasions have happened, one thing that has happened in this country that you all are present here today, and thank you so much for everyone for being here today, right, is that at this very country, it stands as a guideline where emergence, or rather confluence of true globalization has happened, right? And what globalization really means, it's very important to understand that. And globalization, the true essence of globalization, is the ability to diversify your collaborations, like she talked about, or rather your connections beyond just where you're born. And that's the essence of globalization. A lot of people here have LinkedIn accounts, right? Can I see a raise of hand? How many of you can say that all those connections that you have, which looks extremely wonderful, right, on the LinkedIn profile, 500 plus connection, you know, 5,000 plus followers, how many of those people are actually going to stand by you when you need them the most? How many of your Facebook friends that you have right now who often comment, like your post, are actually going to be there at the time of crisis? You know, in the world of the social, economic advancement, what we have lost touch is on the human connections. And that's why we're all here for. To touch, feel, get to know each other, to appreciate where we come from, to appreciate the very ethos of where we belong. And I tell this to everyone. A woman is not to woo a man. A woman is a womb plus a man. So I think a big round of applause to all the women out here for being that, right? And when you have the ability to give life, it is so seamless to be able to build an organization, because that's what we do. We tie families together. So when we get married, we somehow end up acquiring another family, which means the very responsibility of building multiple relations lies on our shoulders. So we are naturally great at building organizations. So I come from a family of doctors. My dad calls me fondly the fake doctor in the family because I have a PhD, and he thinks it's not equivalent to having an MBBS or an MD. Well, I don't blame him. I don't blame him, right? Because he's worked very hard to be where he is, and he's built a hospital, and it's natural for you to believe that somebody's going to take over, right? And see, he didn't have a son, so he had no choice but to say that you're going to take over. And I decided to study economics. And what a wonderful forum, right? The World Economic Forum. And let me tell you something. The first economist to receive a Nobel was a woman, right? Maria Isabella. The first president of Argentina was a woman, Isabella Moren. The first woman president in Sri Lanka, which is just a neighboring state, right, was in 1960. So it's not that women were not empowered, and I don't think anybody needs to hand over a torch of empowerment to us, because women were always empowered. We just came to believe that our role was only confided in home. And let me tell you something, I consider homemakers of extremely high value. Somebody got to take care of the home, else somebody can't work, right? Is why today being you know, when you say like a stay-at-home father is a coveted job. And I know a lot of my women friends whose husbands are stay-home fathers. So we don't look down upon a stay-home father, so we shouldn't be looking down on a stay-home mother, right? Similarly, when a woman is building an organization, do not look at her and say, oh, wow, she's building an organization, but say, good. She was supposed to do so, so she is doing it now. It's not a flag of some kind of an accomplishment to be a woman entrepreneur. I run a company that is valued at 100 crores. I employ over 200 people in a company. And trust me, 60% of the people who work for me are men. I do not look at hiring people, and that's the true essence of globalization or creativity. Creativity is not bound by gender. Globalization is not bound by gender. It is bound by capabilities. And capabilities are not just about who or which gender does it well. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had so many men in this room cheering for the women right here. Just goes to show that both plays an equally important role in building a society. It is just about us waking up and saying, we are good at it, so let's make it happen. So thank you so much for having me here today and allowing me to make it happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. We acknowledge you are a doctor. Thank you for your immaculately powerful words. Thank you very much. What a powerful note to end this on. And with that, it's my privilege to call on stage once again Dr. Harbeen Arora. And I would request two very inspiring ladies to join Harbeen in giving away the awards. I call on Lee Allison Sibley and Vemo Kitawa to give away the awards together with Harbeen. Thank you so much. Let's give them a round. I'm sorry. Our first awardee is Alex Okoroji from Nigeria. Congratulations, Alex. You are an iconic woman creating a better world for all. Inviting Cordelia Gona. Cordelia, please step up and accept the honor. Cordelia from Zimbabwe, an iconic woman. Let's keep clapping for a little bit. It's good exercise. Crystal Y. Davis, congratulations. Have some smiles. Dr. Somdutta Singh, congratulations. You're an iconic woman creating a better world for all of us. Thank you. Monique Blokzyl from Germany. Congratulations. Monique, once again, Monique R. Kennedy from Jamaica, an iconic woman creating a better world for all. Beautiful, special moment. Our last awardee is Sonja Klopcic. Congratulations, Sonja, coming from the beautiful country of Slovenia. Ladies and ladies, I am going to have to break your party a little bit and get you to sit down a little bit. We do have two amazingly back-to-back fantastic speakers. We're going to be joined by two very important ministers of India, from the government of India, and we should look nice and disciplined, which we're not. So if you can all take a seat, take a cozy little round table. I hear a lot of, I want to meet you. Beautiful. We're going to be speaking with a minister from the Human Resource Development, an education minister, followed right after an honorable Union Minister of India. Education Minister of Haryana, Mr. Bilas Sharma. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Honorable Minister. One of the most powerful ministers in his cabinet, a PhD and a powerfully articulate speaker. We welcome you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome Honorable Minister here. Haryana, as you know, is a state that we've talked about here a lot. We've had some people from the media on the inaugural day itself, some very illustrious people in the media who come from Haryana. It is also a state where we talk about women's rights a lot, that still the mindset of having sons more than daughters exists much more. Therefore, in that kind of a space, what can human resource development or education do in a state to advance the rights of women, to advance awareness about women's rights, and to advance the well-being and welfare of women in all its aspects? I couldn't think of a better person here to speak about that, because he is at the helm of the HRD ministry in the government of Haryana. May I now request the Honorable Minister to address the gathering. May I now request also, please, for everybody to close the doors as they keep coming in with their cups of tea, because we are going to have a wonderful session with the Honorable Minister, who's graced the occasion to speak to all of us. May I request the Honorable Minister to please take to the podium and address us. Sir.
सभी यहाँ उपस्थित भाई और बहनों, मैं हरियाणा सरकार की तरफ से श्री अरविंद धार और देश से विदेश से आए हुए सभी मेहमान भाई बहनों का हरियाणा सरकार की तरफ से हार्दिक अभिनंदन करता हूँ। मैं लीग को बधाई देता हूं कि इन्होंने इतना बड़ा कार्यक्रम और देश की राजधानी दिल्ली में ऑर्गेनाइज किया। वैसे भी इंडिया इज ए ग्रेट कंट्री। भारत में महिलाओं का सम्मान सबसे ज़्यादा है। हम वर्ष में 2 बार नवरात्र का पर्व मनाते हैं। नवरात्र में हम अपनी बेटी का, बहन का, माँ का सम्मान करते हैं। साल में 2 बार नव दुर्गा के रूप में शैलपुत्री, कात्यायनी, ब्रह्मचारिणी, कालरात्रि, गौरी, या देवी सर्वभूतेषु सर्वरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः। ये हमारे समाज का अपना एक इतिहास। 7th of March, भूपेंद्र हुड्डा, your color is very fair, but since the last 3 years you are going black. There will be on 11th, we will cross 300 seats in UP. And Gadha is a source of inspiration for us. गधा मालिक का बहुत वफादार होता है। दिन रात काम करने की प्रेरणा हम गधे से लेते हैं। और हमारा प्राइम मिनिस्टर 130 करोड़ का गधा है। And when we crossed 325 in UP Assembly, the same person, Bhupender Singh Hooda, telephoned me at 1 o'clock. No channel was telling more than 256. You are the only man, repeatedly you said that we will cross certainly 300. All sisters, all innovators, all startup, so many ideas. In 3 years, in every field, India is going ahead. Indian farmer is going ahead. Students are going ahead. Digital demonetization. The President of China said that Narendra Bhai Modi जुआ खेला है. इतने बड़े, India is not only a market. We have the biggest market of the world. We are the biggest consumer of the world. We are not less than anyone in the world. This 21st century, Nostradamus has said in his book, Maharishi Arvind said as a prophecy that this century belongs to India. India had been, my sisters from South Africa, I think you are from New Zealand. Because we have given everything to the world. We have given dasmalav to the world. हमने जीना सिखाया, मरना सिखाया. Max Muller, when he got 4 Vedas, then he took all Vedas on his head and he made a dance. Such a wonderful book, such a scientific book can be in a black and white, in the shape of black and white. I have introduced Gita in the syllabus of the students. There is a very applause from out of the world. Gita is not only a religious book. गीता भारत की प्रीत है. गीता भारत का गीत है. गीता ज्ञान है. गीता विज्ञान है. गीता शंका है. गीता समाधान है. इसलिए मैं एक बार फिर से, there is a very bad habit in we politicians that we got a silent listeners, then we don't give up the mic. I again and again, I welcome you all in my capital, in the capital of largest country, India, and I welcome you all, and I give a permanent invitation to you. Whenever you come, my state starts, this Palam Indira Gandhi airport is far away from Delhi, but it is near to my Gurgaon. Come in Gurugram. It is my privilege to welcome you all. Thank you. बहुत धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. We would really like to thank you, and we hope that women from Haryana have always done us proud. They have been leading in the field of sports. So we hope that with your ministry, women in the schools, women in the colleges will be given great more opportunities to excel in sports and do India proud. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. He has given all of you an open invitation to come to his state, Haryana, which he, as he rightly reminded, is closer from here than the center of Delhi. So all of you do make plans. Honorable Minister has extended an open invitation to all our sisters from different countries. With that, I take this opportunity on your behalf to thank the Honorable Minister for coming all the way and taking out time to address us all with his inspirational remarks. Thank you so much, sir. May I now request Mansi, please?
In addition, as a mark of our absolute heartfelt gratitude, we'd like to honor our minister here with the award as the leader of the decade in public life. Thank you for inspiring us today, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. We do have the honor to have amongst us in exactly 2 minutes, Honorable Minister, Honorable Union Minister for Railways from the Government of India. A very powerful personality once again.
popular rail minister, not only this government, Sri Suresh Prabhu, he had been in the cabinet of Shriman Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and it is my privilege that he is representing Haryana, and at that time I was President Haryana BJP. I welcome him. The man don't mince the words. The man, he convert words in action. अटक से कटक, कश्मीर से कन्याकुमारी, रेल जिस रफ्तार से दौड़ती है, I am proud of him. I welcome him in this.
It is absolutely my honor and privilege to welcome here Honorable Minister, Government of India, Union Cabinet, Minister of Railways, Mr. Suresh Prabhu. Please welcome him with a warm round of applause. All the ladies here, come on. He has a very busy schedule, and he really, to support the cause of women and to really warmly welcome all our sisters who have come for 6 days to attend our 500 plus sessions over a range of topics from 100 countries they've come. He's come here in moral support, full support. The Indian Railways ferries every day almost 25 million people. It's like moving one Australia every day from one part to another. So it's one of the largest railway networks in the world. It ferries about 3 million tons of cargo and employs almost 1.5 million people. So it's the 7th largest employer of people after United States Defense in number 7. So it is a very, very important subject. Till a certain point in time in post-independence era, it constituted 75% of public transport. Because of that, we have a separate budget till date that is presented by the Honorable Minister for railways separately. So railways is a very, very important part, and we'd of course love more women in India to use the rail transport system to discover India, explore India. And the Honorable Minister has a range of projects in the pipeline, many of whom which they have already delivered, to make sure that rail travel becomes the preferred mode of transport by one and all in India. Without much ado, I request the Honorable Minister to please come and share his thoughts with all of you. Sir.
Good afternoon, friends. My senior friend, colleague, and the one who sent me to Parliament, Sharma ji, your distinguished President, and all my good friends. Let me welcome you to Delhi. Some of you have come from abroad. Welcome to India. And for something very interesting organization, and congratulations to you for bringing women from different backgrounds together. And I think globally there are many organizations which we keep thinking about how to bring about overall development of the societies, the world. There are of course UN bodies, then there are many others which are not directly UN, but they are bringing so many governments together and they work, and everybody seems to be working on various aspects of human life. Some work on health, some work on economic development, some try to think about sports, some try to think about how to bring in equality, many others. But if you really want the growth of society in families, if you want to really bring about economic growth, I think it will not be oversimplifying to say that if you can develop the women of the world will be developed automatically. And I am saying this for a simple reason. You just imagine 50% of the global population, they start engaging into economic activities, would it not help the economic growth? It's a simple arithmetic. They don't need any scientific, any rocket science or any high-ended economists to come and think about it. And that is what is proven anywhere in those societies where women are economically engaged, economic growth happens. But that's one part of the story. The second part of the story is that when you earn income, how do you spend it? We have seen in several parts of India, when some families started getting more money, the head of the family normally, except some part of India which is matriarchal society, the head of the family being a male, he starts spending it on gambling, on drinking, and creating more problem for the family. So family would say, I was better off without money, because now with money, I got now not only economic miseries to suffer from, but even physical and mental torture to be subjected. So how do you spend money will depend upon who earns that money. If woman earns money, she'll spend that money on the only preoccupation a woman has, because every woman is a mother first. So woman will spend that money on the child. She'll make sure that the child is properly educated, child is properly taken care of health-wise. So most of the issues that all these bodies are trying to work on will get automatically solved if women earn money and they are given choice to spend money. And that is why, how do you give women a choice to spend? It's only when she earns, only they can share the choice to spend. Other it's like a dole which is given to a woman. So if she earns, she will spend, she'll spend on the right causes, the social problems will get resolved. And this is proved in many parts of the world. Wherever women have got a right, they have done that. My wife is here, so she's obviously earning on her own. She's a senior journalist. And I have seen the only time she has to spend, she will spend on my son, the only child we have. And therefore, women, economic empowerment is very important for bringing it social development of society. If only economic development we are preoccupied with and we'll say anyway this who earns money, how does it matter? Let anybody earn money, that's economic development. Then we are sadly mistaken, because by that economic growth we are creating more societal problems. And therefore bringing economic development, putting women in the forefront, giving them a right to earn, a right to spend, will address so many of the social problems we are facing. We are in this part of the world, South Asia, which has a very unique characteristic. Women have always been at the top of political leadership. Pakistan had a woman Prime Minister. Bangladesh has a woman Prime Minister around. India had a woman Prime Minister way back in 1966. Sri Lanka had two women Prime Ministers, head or Prime Minister President. Bandaranaike, her mother. So interestingly, in this part of the world, the women have political power more than most advanced societies of the world. The largest economy of the world, US, never had a woman president. In fact, if they were the first time there was a woman candidate for a presidential election, and they are thinking this is a great achievement. But this is in 2016, whereas way back in 1966, India had a first woman Prime Minister. But that was political leadership. On why then the women have not developed as much? And that shows that political leadership is important, political power has to be given, but economic power is more important. And therefore I am very happy that we have this Women Economic Forum. I am saying this because I was very impressed with your title and the activities. So I think if we want to make sure that development of society has to happen, women have to be at the forefront. If women only remain forefront in terms of taking blame for everything and only suffering from all the miseries of life, it is not going to help. So they must be economically empowered, and they must also have, at the head of the family, they must try to develop. Kerala is one very interesting example in India, a southern state. matriarchal society. And that is not surprising. That's the reason why probably that human development index of Kerala is not only the best in India, but comparable to best societies in the world. And the reason is, people tend to forget this is one of the fundamental reasons for it. So I think we must focus on this. I'm very happy that you are doing this. I just came out of another meeting, and when such a senior leader and a very close family friend is here, I think he will guide you properly. And you are in his home state. You are in Gurgaon, which is Haryana, part of Haryana, one of the most developed state of India. In fact, Haryana should be very proud of saying that our Prime Minister's vision of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao is the most successful mission in this state, which had a very adverse male to female rate. That is because the woman child, the young girl, was not allowed to be born. So that is change in Haryana, which is something very amazing, and that too in such a short time. So Mr. Sharma rightly deserves credit for that. And therefore he is the right person to speak about women issues, because he has done that. In fact, I used to always say that I have won 4 elections in Lok Sabha from Maharashtra, one from Haryana in Rajya Sabha, and now I am in Member of Parliament from South, Andhra Pradesh. But my constituency, where I won Lok Sabha elections, had more women than men, because most of the men migrated, because they didn't have jobs there. So in the Parliament I used to always say that some of the women MPs used to say that on gender issues, women issues, we must be given priority to speak. I said I should be given more priority, because I am elected by women. You are woman elected by men, but I am man elected by women, so I have more right to speak about women issues. And therefore, I feel very happy that we are doing this event here. Congratulations to you. Any help we can do, will be more than happy. In fact, in railways, which Mr. Sharma ji mentioned, we are now investing about $142 billion, modernizing the entire railway operations, making sure that all aspects of railways are taken care of in terms of upgrading the services, which has been languishing for the last several decades. And now we are really focusing on the fundamental issues of the railways. So it obviously, if you are dealing with chronic problems, it takes time to recover, but we are working on that. And in the next few years' time, I am very sure that Indian railways will be better than many other railways in the world. In that, again, we are paying a lot of attention to women issues. For women's safety, we are number of steps. In fact, some of the very high-ended steps. Even if you push a button, it gets alert. So women don't have to worry about it, and then automatically the help is rushed. I personally monitor several complaints from women, and I'm very happy that nowhere in the world, and this is, I can say with confidence, nowhere in the world, when we have 8 billion people, 800 crore people traveling by railways every year almost 24 million people, 2.4 crore people traveling by railways every day, every complaint that we receive is attended to in the shortest possible time. Particularly a complaint from women, zero tolerance in terms of compliance. We have to comply. We try to take it, and I personally monitor it. We are also working on empowering women by giving self-help groups, which is a unique development in India. And my wife has developed 100,000, 1 lakh women. She has given them self-employment through her NGO. We have now connected the women to the railways. The self-help group, whatever they make, not whatever, but something which is sellable, what they make, we buy it in the railways, and we have started that program. We already started one in Sawantwadi, which is my old constituency. It is women, what they make in terms of food is connected to railways by way of e-catering. And this is what we are encouraging now all the states to do. I keep traveling every day to different states. Yesterday I was in Nagpur, day before I was in northeast of India, where I request all the chief ministers. Again in the weekend I am going to Uttarakhand, Himachal. So we always try to talk to people and try to tell them that connect women to the economic chain that will bring them incomes at the homes. This is what we are trying to do. So we are very happy I am doing this. Sharma ji, thank you for permitting me to come to your state and allowing me to speak. I am very happy that I could meet him again, like meeting of two brothers. So I am very happy. And thank you very much. Congratulations to you. Welcome to all of you to India. Thank you very much.
We have a small token of appreciation for our Honorable Minister. Sir.
It's an absolute honor to present, sir, this memento as an outstanding contribution to public life. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for being with us.
one-stop news destination. Most reliable, direct, fast, accurate, NewsX, always on.
Dots are everywhere. Each with a story to tell. Some dots are about a beginning, and others an end. Some dots make us live. Some make us love. Some dots give us hope. Some don't. Some dots make us move. Some make us stop. Some dots reflect religion. Others, a relation. Some dots bring victory. Others create history. Some dots give us life. Others simply tell a story of peace, valor, culture, honor, power, pride, and identity. Every dot has a story. Connecting facts, connecting stories, connecting lives, connecting dots. ITV Network.
Cricket. the only constant in life. Our bodies change, our moods change, our hormones change. Our emotions change, our thoughts change, our situations change. We all change. Change is the nature of nature. Mother Nature embraces change. Mother Nature drives the change. Mother Nature is equipped for change. Change, she says, is your growth. Change, she says, is your evolution. Change, she says, is life living itself. Do not fear change. Just embrace it. My creation has everything you will ever need to adapt to any change. My creation works for you. My plants, my herbs, my fruits, my greens, my trees, my winds, my waters, my seeds, they are all alive to help you, support you, prepare you. They are like a million mothers taking care of you every second of your lives, holding the secrets to your health, harmony, and joy. Secrets that science is discovering now, yet secrets uncovered by our seers thousands of years ago as Ayurveda, the knowledge of nature, the power of nature, the love of nature, the infinity of nature, the soul of nature. Come home to nature. Come home to Ayurveda, where the source of life is a way of life. Bio Ayurveda, embracing Mother Nature. Change, the only constant in life. Our bodies change, our moods change, our hormones change. Our emotions change, our thoughts change, our situations change. We all change. Change is the nature of nature. Mother Nature embraces change. Mother Nature drives the change. Mother Nature is equipped for change. Change, she says, is your growth. Change, she says, is your evolution. Change, she says, is life living itself. Do not fear change. Just embrace it. My creation has everything you will ever need to adapt to any change. My creation works for you. My plants, my herbs, my fruits, my greens, my trees, my winds, my waters, my seeds, they are all alive to help you, support you, prepare you. They are like a million mothers taking care of you every second of your lives, holding the secrets to your health, harmony, and joy. Secrets that science is discovering now, yet secrets uncovered by our seers thousands of years ago as Ayurveda, the knowledge of nature, the power of nature, the love of nature, the infinity of nature, the soul of nature. Come home to nature. Come home to Ayurveda, where the source of life is a way of life. Bio-Ayurveda, embracing Mother Nature. Change, the only constant in life. Our bodies change, our moods change, our hormones change. Our emotions change, our thoughts change, our situations change, we all change. Change is the nature of nature. Mother Nature embraces change. Mother Nature drives the change.
Good evening to our scanty audience. We're hoping to have many more of you in here. So I think it'll be a good idea to grab seats now. We have a very exciting Power Pack session right ahead. We are in conversation with the leaders of the decade in innovation. And we'll have a soft opening for this session as the rest of our speakers arrive, because this is a little bit earlier. We're starting the session a little bit earlier because we have the fortune of having amongst us Ms. Sabina Chopra. And it is my privilege to call her on stage. She's the CEO of the RCI Wyndham Group and also the co-founder of Yatra.com. A very warm welcome to you, Sabina. Ladies and gents, please put your hands together for Sabina.
I can speak. That means I get more than my 3 minutes? Yes.
Many.
It's actually just to share with you, thank you so much for firstly calling me here. Thank you, Harbeen. Thank you, everyone. Wanted to share with you, I mean, recognition like this actually motivates you and makes you feel so much better. Closer? Okay. That close, okay. Actually, that's why I wanted more than the 3 minutes, because my journey started in the mid-80s, is when I started my career. So mid-80s is, that actually shares where I'm telling you my age informally, but I passed out of college mid-80s. And at that time, the focus of women was, I would say the focus of the family was to get the right match, to get married, to have children. And I belong to that generation. However, in my mind, I wanted to do those things also. I wanted to get married, have kids, have a nice family life. But I also wanted to do something for myself. That meant I wanted to get out and work. Fought with my parents because I belonged to a slightly well-off family where they felt that the girl doesn't really have to get out and work because it seems as if, the family can't support her. So, but I fought with my father, fought with my mother. I got my job with the airlines and I started working in 85. So it's a long, long way off. Focused on my career, tried to absorb. My first boss is actually who shaped my entire career. He actually taught me it's the attitude that matters. It's the way, that's the one thing that is going to take you afar, is the attitude and the learnings. Keep learning throughout your life. And those 5 years under him, under his leadership, was tremendous. He made sure that he moved me around from the reservations to ticketing to airport operations, which was unheard of because it was all shifts and night shifts. But it was my attitude that I needed to learn everything. And then marriage happened, and then children happened. And I just couldn't manage. I have no issues in stating this. I just couldn't manage my family. And I took a break. I wouldn't say a break, but I actually resigned with the attitude that I will not come back. I started taking care of both my girls. I had 2 babies in quick succession, 1.5 year gap from each other. And from there on, once I started going to school is when that thing came back inside me in the early 90s that I want to get back to work. I wasn't happy. And I had this guilty feeling that I have such a nice husband. I have good children at home. I have a fantastic, perfect life. But what is that which is disturbing me inside? I just wanted to get back to the work environment. And spoke to mine again. In our terms, I think today's generation cannot relate to this, but for us in that generation, our families had to agree to it. So understand the word permission. That permission was very, very strong in those years. And finally got my family to agree. I would still say agree, not permission, but agree to me getting back to my job again. I left my airline job as a manager. And when I went back after 5.5, 6 years, they offered me a job, but they offered me an entry-level job. I grabbed it. I did not even think twice. And on day one when I walked in, I realized that computers had come in. we had no idea what computers were in the back in 80s, in 85. But in 90s, it was the computer age which came through. So what I used to do is, rather than feel afraid, I used to send my children, get up in the morning, send my children to school to the bus stop, get back to NIIT, that was the, the school, learn computers and then go back to office. It took me 2 months. Daily learning, daily NA. But I didn't give it up. I had these people who were reporting into me earlier, now becoming my bosses. But what it made me do was get back that energy back that I need to again lead. And I really got back there. So within 3 years, I became a manager again. And from there on, the journey began for me. Got back to where it is, learned, kept learning. So it was learning till now. And then the BPO culture happened in India. So September 11 happened, and all airline jobs were going for a 6. So I said, rather than being let go, it's better to find yourself a new career. And the only people in that recession time who were recruiting was the BPO industry. Everybody again told me, why BPO? You will have shift systems, you will not be able to focus on your children, you will not be able to focus on my daughters. I said, I'm going to do it. I will find a way how to manage my family and my children, but I will get back into the BPO world. I will do it. Because they were the only ones who were actually growing in that recession time, and they were the ones who had the most lucrative jobs. So very selfishly, I went ahead. And when I went ahead is when I realized it actually means your whole life gets topsy-turvy. It's not that it's bad. In the airline world, from managing 10 people, it taught me how to manage 50, 100, 800, 2,000 people. So it was an entire learning experience for me. From, from the airline perspective, issuing 2 tickets in a day. Here we used to issue 100. Per person, productivity was 100. So I learned automation. The whole period for me has been why it succeeded for me, because I had an open mind. I didn't come back that we used to do it in that fashion and I can't learn this again. So I started learning this process also and started actually learning and growing very well. We were a group of friends while we were in the BPO industry for 5, 6 years. And that's when I realized that what after this? So 3 of us used to talk, we are doing it here, why can't we do it for ourselves? That's the decision that we took, that okay, 3 years, after 5 years, let's resign and try and do the travel online piece for ourselves. Because we were working in this large BPO, and we were used to work for an online company only, a UK-based online company. And that's all 3 partners of us were together here. And we started thinking of new ideas, how to evolve this out, resign from our jobs, had our own personal laptops, no money, used to work from cafe coffee days, and we got the first investment. We were thrilled. But for us, when I'm here to talk about innovation and entrepreneurship, and it's really what the idea was. The idea was to add value to the customer. What does the Indian consumer require at that time? And that's how the entire model was reshaped and remodeled again. And that's the success story. So last year we listed on NASDAQ, which was again a very success story for us. And from there on, I said, now what? And then I took a job with an international hotel chain as an MD. And for me, that's again a growth. Again, learning from the online world into the, I would say, to the hotel world. So all my career paths have been hugely different from each other. So my career graph has been doing different things, different places, adding value. When we talk about entrepreneurship and innovation, I don't think that innovation or entrepreneurship only happened to me while we were starting Yatra. I think innovation and entrepreneurship comes to you from day one when you actually start working. Is the spirit in your mind? Do you want to do new things? In your own organization, whether you're managing an organization, whether you're working for an organization, or you're heading an organization, you can actually add that spirit if it's in with you. You have to understand the process. You have to understand who is your end customer, who do you want to value add to. You can create new processes, you can actually innovate every day in every work environment that you work from. So innovation